So this morning we woke up to snow. Now it looks like it might be a snow-rain mix. Been listening to the snow thumping off the trees onto the trailers. So it's heavy snow, and we'll see how long it's supposed to last. It's supposed to be off and on for the next few days. So I think I'll hunker down and stay close to home today. Not sure if you can hear this, but the snow is falling off the trees. And it is raining now, so the snow is very heavy, and when it hits the roof, it's quite loud. It's cold outside.
Yeah, very cold.
Okay, so
that's the toque.
For our family and friends who are in northern BC and Alberta and Ontario and anywhere in between, for us, this is cold. We're at what? I think it said
-8 when I got home from work, so we're probably sitting around -10, -11 right now.
But when I looked at my phone, it said
but
with
it's
the
a
wind
damn
chill.
cold as well.
Well, the wind chill, with the wind chill, it was -14.
Okay.
So for us here on the West Coast, that is cold. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's not the dry cold from northern BC or Calgary, or I've never been to Ontario, so I can't really comment on what the cold is like there.
It's not like it is here. Anyways, we probably shouldn't complain because next week I'm sure it'll be warm.
We're actually supposed to hit 8 degrees Celsius by next Saturday. So, but this week is going to be the freezer.
It's cold. So we thought we'd have a conversation this week about our values and how our travel trailer is holding up to the weather that we're having, and what the R values
that we have. Apparently we have R40 in the roof, R30 in the floor, and R9 in the walls.
Okay, so
but
I looked it up, and sticks and bricks typically, and this is the only reference I could find was an American reference that was done by Energy Star, and they're saying in the attic it's somewhere between 30 and 60 is your R value, depending on where you live. So 60 if you're in northern US, bordering on Canada, and then it depends on whether you have 2x6 or 2x4 walls, and that ranges between anywhere from R13 to R21, depending on the thickness of your wall studs. And then the floor, basically, again, depending on where you live, floors and crawl spaces are between 25 and 30. So, of course, they are a little higher than what our trailer is. Our floor is actually right on track.
Our floor is rated for R30, or it says it is. Although I think the biggest issue is it goes to the weakest link, and the weakest link being the slides. The walls of the slides are definitely not an R9.
No.
I would say they might be a 5 because I can still feel a draft. I can actually feel the cool air behind me. And
Well, then when I touched the wall in behind us, I was drying some drips from when we were cooking. So I just dried the wall off, and
the wall
was
is cold.
Yeah, it was very cold. So to help combat some of the elements and the wind, we have put some skirting up.
Yes, finally got the last of the skirting up today. And it was needed because we had a pretty good windstorm yesterday, and it blew some of the temporary skirting up, or blew it down. Sorry.
You had it up.
I had it up, and I didn't screw it into place, didn't attach it to anything because it was kind of chilly last night. So I physically screwed it into some studs, and it's solid there now. So if it blows down, well, the trailer's going to be on its side.
Okay. We're standing out here today, trying not to get blown away.
Very windy and blustery.
We had to pull the awnings in. We were hoping to dry them off a little bit. Then it rained, and then it blew, and we had to pull them in. So, we want to talk about, again, trying to keep the warmth inside the trailer, and how we are going about doing that.
And keep it cold out. What I've done is done some skirting on the cheap. All in so far, I'm $50. It's basically plywood. Sorry, gotta include the pay, another $20. So $70 we're all in. The screws I had, I get the little bits of 2x4 from work, and it's just dunnage, so it's scrap wood. And that attaches everything. I basically got everything cut to size, and skirts all the way around.
We haven't finished the entry side of the trailer, but we did manage to put the boards up.
I put them up, but I have not attached them on about 2/3 of the driver on the passenger side. So everything is here, but not attached.
So, and then you were going to put a hinge or something on that side.
But this side will have one large piano hinge, so this will basically be our storage area going out. Right now, it's just protecting us from the wind.
Yeah.
It's very cold at night right now, and the next week we're supposed to drop down to -10, -15 Celsius, which is around 0 Fahrenheit in that ballpark. So, pretty cold.
By the time this airs, we are going to be hitting temperatures at -11, I think, -15.
Highs of -11 is what we're forecast.
Ah, burr.
Yeah, we're chilly.
Okay. All right. Good thing we got some warm clothes. So we also did a little experiment last month about electric heat versus propane, because we bought the electric heater that we keep in the bedroom.
We
and
bought
then,
a ceramic tower heater, 1500 watt tower heater, which works fairly well, although it is a very heavy drain, like other heat appliances.
So I had a moment, a lapse of judgment last night. I was at the other end. I turned on the heater because we were making our way into the bedroom, and I hadn't turned off the fireplace yet. So I had to go out in the snow and go reset the breaker because it blew the breaker.
Whoever blows the breaker resets the breaker.
So our electric bill, plus we had Christmas lights and that up last month as well. When we got our bill for our electric, our hydro, it was...
I believe it was around $118.
No, it was $113.
$113.
It had been around. It had been around like the $80 mark so far, and so we were trying to use mostly electric heat sources for the most part, and using a little bit less on the furnace, which sucks the propane out of the tanks.
Oh yeah, the furnace does gobble up the propane, and at roughly $30 for a refill on the 30-pound tanks. 1 month, I believe it was November, It worked out to almost $180 in propane
So,
because we didn't use any electric heat. We were using all propane.
yeah.
So that will change from now on. Electric is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Propane for backup, obviously, or when we don't have our heaters on.
So, and the other thing that, we would take the dogs out and that sort of thing. If it's raining out or when it's cold out or snowing out, they bring in a lot of moisture along with them.
And debris.
Yeah, and I try to dry them off. We put the awning out and try to dry them off outside. But if it's windy and raining, and it happens to be the time that we are taking the dogs out, or I am taking the dogs out. It's usually me. Then I can't put the awning out, so we have to bring them in and dry them off inside and try to get them to stay on the mat. It's not a large footprint, so that's a challenge too. In getting the dogs in and out, you're letting all the hot air out and, and the cold air is coming in. So that's another challenge during these cold days. So, speaking of which, I should probably take them out. I'm going to go bundle up, and we will talk to you soon. Remember to subscribe.
Give us a thumbs up.
And hit that bell for notifications. Talk to
Bye
you
for
soon.
now.
Bye. I don't know how many layers I have on, but the glove or the hand that I was using to operate the phone is pretty much frozen. Like I said, it's -8, and everything here is frozen in the park. And I don't know why I'm trying to show you like that, because the camera pointed at me. So the little pond that's usually here is frozen. Everything is rock hard. I'm going to take the dogs on a quick stroll. They had cabin fever so bad I had to take them out, and we just came to the dog park because it's fenced off. Nobody's going to complain that my dog is off leash, and it's a shorter trail, and we hopefully won't be here too long because it's cold. I'm not built for this stuff.